Peace be with you. Dear friends, welcome to When I Cannot Pray series 19th episode. Here in this episode, I continue to deal with spiritualizing the sense of sight. We are now dealing with the 5 senses, external senses. They can help us to pray better once we are aware of these senses. And especially the sense of sight is so precious because we see millions of things, as I told you in my previous episode. And, when we begin to become more and more aware of the things that we see daily, this awareness becomes rich, and whatever we see becomes meaningful, and we see with a purpose. We see the things around us with joy. In Exodus chapter 33, when Moses asked to see the face of God, God said, no one can see God and live. That is a fact. But we can see the glory of God around us through the sense of sight. Millions of things that are there in this universe. We watch them every day. And very often we see things without meaning, without purpose, and without awareness. But when we see things with awareness, consciousness, then the real meaning comes to us so powerfully. And we are able to see something extraordinary in everything that we see. For example, if you want to watch a painting, if you are aware of the painter, the value of the painting, and also the prestige of the painter, then that painting becomes very meaningful to you. I remember in 1993, when I accompanied our students to the Vatican Museum. It was a wonderful experience. Vatican Museum is a huge museum. You can spend practically 8 to 10 hours. There are multiple things, hundreds and thousands of things of value, historically valuable things. And as I could observe, the students were the theology students, they were approximately 35 or 36 students, and we were 4 formators along with our superior, and we were, very enthusiastic to watch the various items that were displayed in the museum. And after 2-3 hours, I could see that there was a kind of disinterestedness and a kind of lack of enthusiasm among the students. And at one point, I thought I need to boost their enthusiasm. And I went ahead of them at a particular place, and I began watching a particular painting. And the students came and stood behind me and began watching. And then one student asked me, "Father, what is the meaning of this painting? It looks, you are watching it so intently." Then I said, "You see, this is a painting of a very famous painter, and the value of this painting is $3 million. And slowly, what I told to that student spread in the group, and I could watch behind me, there were more than 15 students watching what I was watching. And then one student suggested, "Father, we need to have some photographs because this is a very valuable, as you said, it is worth $3 million. We would like to have a photograph." And all stood there and we had a photograph. In those days, we had these cameras with the rolled film, and we clicked several photographs in the presence of that particular painting. And then I quickly moved away and we watched some other items. But actually, strangely, what was the difference? The students became enthusiastic to watch that painting. I myself did not know what that painting was, and I did not even know how much it was valued. Maybe few dollars, but I just said for fun $3 million. And that particular news, that value $3 million added up to the interest of these students. They clicked photos, they were interested in watching without knowing what they were watching, but still they watched it because it was valuable. You see, the difference is simply that when we put meaning in a particular thing that we watch, then it becomes so powerful. In the same way, when we watch things in the creation, we go out every day, commuting for our work, and maybe we go out for marketing or just taking a walk in the fields or in a park. We can watch so many trees and so many plants, flowers, and the meadows, maybe water, lake or whatever. When we watch with purpose, with awareness, lot of things can gather for our God experience, because God has created this beautiful creation. Everything is so beautiful, so beautifully designed, so wonderfully created by God. And that is where we begin to spiritualize the sense of sight. Now, every day we watch the sun. Of course, directly we cannot watch the sun. St. John of the Cross says, as the sun blinds our eyes, so God can blind our soul. We cannot watch the sun. Within a quick moments, we feel that we are blinded. But the sun is so great. It is said that it is 100 times the dimension of the earth. The diameter of the sun is 1,400,000 kilometers. The distance between the sun and the earth is 149.7 million kilometers. 149.7 million kilometers. And it is said that the sun is so powerful, the heat on the sun, on the surface of the sun, is 15 million centigrades. You can just imagine the power of the sun. So we can just imagine the diameter of the earth is just 12,756 kilometers. So the diameter of the sun is 1,400,000 kilometers. Huge. So that is the creation of God. That is the wonder that God has created. In the same way, when we watch the beautiful things in the creation, we are brought to that experience of God. St. John of the Cross, in his spiritual canticle, chapter 4, 5 and 6, speaks of the glory of God in nature. If there is an opportunity for you, just to read those chapters. Very interesting. He explains so beautifully how this nature is made and how God's glory is visible in nature. It's so exciting, it is so beautiful, it is so wonderful. So all these things that we experience in the nature during the day can bring us to deeper experience of God when we want to pray, when we really want to pray. Maybe 10 minutes, as I said to you, 15 minutes, silent prayer. What brings us to that awareness, to that deeper experience? Because we understand the might of God, the power of God, the greatness of God, the beauty of God, the glory of God, and all that is there in God. It is difficult for us to grasp the nature of God. If the creation is so beautiful, so enormous, so great, we can just begin to comprehend how great is God's glory, how great is God. So we are communicating with God during prayer. Prayer is, as I said, nothing but a conversation between friends. And we know that God loved us and He has created us so beautifully. Our body is beautiful. Our mind, our eyes, our hands, everything that God has given us is so beautiful. So when we begin to appreciate the beauty of God that is manifested through art and through nature and through everything that is available for us to observe, it brings us a rich experience of God. That is what I would like to highlight here. Seeing with purpose, seeing with awareness, seeing with joy, seeing with that contentment, seeing with that kind of great respect for God. Everything can make us so powerful in our prayer. St. John in his gospel says, "Blessed are those who have not seen and yet believe." Chapter 20, verse 29, if I'm not mistaken. We can't see God, but we believe. We believe that He is there behind everything. When you watch a beautiful flower, beautiful garden, behind that beauty, you always look for the Creator who has created it. Everything can bring us such a lot of riches and make our prayer worth experiencing. This is how we unite ourselves with God. Dear friends, I just bring to your understanding that this world is beautiful. Pope Francis is insisting so much on ecologically balance that is happening in this world. So we contribute our share in making this world beautiful. Planting trees and planting flower plants and trying to preserve what is there, keeping our environment clean and trying to make beautiful our surrounding. All these things are our contribution towards beautifying the creation of God. Because God has given us this opportunity to take care of this creation, take care of this planet. And we have to make use of every opportunity that is available, not only to experience God, but also to preserve what God has given us. When we do that, certainly our prayer becomes rich, our prayer becomes worth experiencing, our prayer actually brings us deep happiness and joy. Therefore, dear friends, let us spiritualize the sense of sight. We will be dealing with other senses in the forthcoming episodes, but this one is a very important aspect for our prayer. If we were to read little Therese, how she was so happy while traveling from Lisieux to Rome, she enjoyed the beauty of creation, the snow-filled mountains as she was passing through Switzerland to Rome, the mountains, the valleys, the snow, the beautiful clouds, and so on. And she cherished all those memories when she was in the cloistered Carmel. And she used to tell to herself, "I do not need to see anything because I have seen so much and I glorify God, the beauty of God in my life." And she was able to pray with that experience deep in her heart. Lots of things can bring us to our awareness. When we look at the things that are around us, can enrich our prayer and strengthen our bond with God every day. We become more united with God every day as we go forward in our prayer experience, especially spiritualizing the sight, the sense of sight that can help us pray better, and that experience becomes richer. God bless you.